Thank you for joining us this afternoon. This is the Twilio-Powered Contact Center session. We'll start with quick introductions. My name is Amir Badri. I've been with Twilio for over 4 years now, and I moved from San Francisco to London last year. So I had the pleasure of working with ING Bank, the sessions you may have seen this morning, and Home Depot, and Simply Business, which just had a session before this one. So I've been lucky enough to help all of them in building out their contact centers. Along with me is my colleague, Matthias Dom, and we were fortunate to hire him last year to join Twilio. And Matthias comes from likes of Telefonica, American Express. He's based out of Munich. And the most important thing is that everything you see today in terms of demos, application, Matthias is the primary author of it. So if there's something that interests you guys, he'll be a great person to talk to after the session. So, all right. So before we get into this, let's talk about what is a modern contact center. In fact, we'll talk about why are we even doing this session with you guys and why are you here. So when Twilio thinks of a modern contact center, it's really on 3 different ideas, right? The key point is that a modern contact center serves customers over multiple channels, meaning that you could have customers coming to you over traditional IVRs, emails, SMS, could be Facebook Messenger, could be web chat, right? The second bit, which is probably actually quite important, is the idea of how do you maintain context across all these channels. It's one thing to serve customers over multiple channels. Another is to be able to bring it all together into one interface so that you have context of that person when they reach out to you, regardless of the channel. And then the third bit, which we are believers in it by now, you would have known, is building blocks, right? You need building blocks for agility and iterative development, because as you will see through these presentation today, that it's really about the idea that you can quickly iterate and try new things out, include new channels within your existing contact centers. So having said that, I just want to kind of briefly give you an idea of what we want to cover in next. My timer's not working. That means I get infinite amount of time right now. In next 20 minutes or so. So we want to really kind of touch on, at a high level, what are the building blocks, right? Building blocks that that Twilio provides. Then we want to actually share with you what a reference architecture for a contact center looks like, right? We have been lucky enough to work with many, many customers. You heard about ING Bank building on Twilio. We have learned lessons from that, and we want to share with you, our developers, right? And then we'll look at some use cases that have been built on this reference architecture, and more importantly, we'll share the source code with you where you can download it, so you can have your own contact center and build upon it. So having said that, Matthias is going to walk you through the next bit of the building blocks.
Thank you, Amir. So my name is Matthias, and let's talk a bit about the 5 building blocks we used to build our Twilio-powered contact center. So the first building block, and this is the foundation of all our voice services we have in our contact center, is the Twilio Super Network. This Twilio Super Network is connected to thousands of carriers worldwide, so every time we make a phone call to a phone number or we receive a phone call from a phone number, it is optimized for call quality by the Twilio network. The second building block we have is the Twilio TWIML markup language. So in our contact center blueprint, we use the language to enqueue callers while they are waiting for an agent. We use it for text-to-speech. And with the TWIML approach, we could now easily extend that with features like transcription services or conferencing or recording. One very important part of our contact center is we think a modern contact center should be built on a web browser. So with the Twilio client, we have a WebRTC library we use to connect the browser of our agent to the super network Twilio provides, and we can fully customize all the call experience for our agents. So we wanted to have, on the one hand, incoming phone calls. We want to have agents that can call phone numbers, but we wanted to have a separate support channel with a live chat. So this is a completely separated channel on our blueprint, so the customer can either call us or directly chat with an agent with our IP messaging SDK. So to bring that all together, we needed a routing engine, as every contact center needs. So a call comes in or a task, and with TaskRouter, we have a very powerful routing engine based on attributes we can use to distribute those tasks to our agents. And part for the TaskRouter is the real-time connection we have from the agent to the Twilio cloud as well. So this, what you see here on the slide, is the overview about the contact center we have built. So there are three major parts. We have on the left side the customer-facing part, so we can handle incoming phone calls. The customer can ask for a callback instead of calling us directly, so he fills out the web form, and the agent gets the tasks assigned and calls the customer back. And we have the web chat I mentioned before. So on the top of the slide, we have the admin interface, so the agent interface. So the agent can log in, and we have a work environment, fully web-based, the agent uses to fulfill our tasks coming in from our customers. And on the top right, we have the administrator interface. So we wanted to have the option to create agents, delete agents, or assign them to specific tasks. Maybe we have one agent just serving web chat, or maybe just incoming phone calls. And on the bottom right, something that has not implemented yet, but it's an outlook into what we may add in the future. So with Twilio, we have all data available, call data, chat data, so we could easily build all kinds of reporting or real-time dashboards on top of that services. Yeah. So let's go briefly through the first use case, and then we start with the demo we have. So the first use case is the customer visits our website. This could be your website, fills out a form, asks for a callback. The task is then created on TaskRouter through the REST API Twilio offers. And now the TaskRouter is looking for an available agent for the task and a matching skill set. And if an agent is available, the agent gets the task assigned. And in a second step, the agent is now calling back the customer with our Twilio client on his phone. So let's switch to our demo and look how this works in our demo. So this is the welcome page of our website, of our contact center. So we have the three main parts I mentioned: the administrator part, the agent login, work environment for our agent, and this is the administrator part. We could now easily create agents, but we already created one for our sessions. We added a menu to change the IVR, so we could now easily change our IVR as well, or create new apartments we want to route our calls through. So this is the administrator part. And what Amir now is going to do is he will fill out the callback form as a customer.
So I guess one thing I would like to add is that what you're seeing is, of course, a very generic model of what a contact center could look like. So our goal is not to build out a full-fledged contact center, obviously, but to give you enough understanding that when you think of a contact center and when you think of building it on Twilio, what's needed to build such a contact center, right? So we want to give you enough starting points so you can build on it. We're also trying to be careful about, we want to put it out, it's out on GitHub, and it's all available. We want to keep it simple so that when you're going through the code, it's easier to understand what's going on as well. So you'll find it simple, but it's by design.
Yeah. So this is the customer-facing part I mentioned. So these are the departments we can create in our administrator interface. So the customer is now asking a question on our website, and the customer needs to provide a phone number because, as said earlier, we want to call back the customer on his phone with our Twilio client. So now the task has been, as soon as we submit the question, has been submitted to Twilio. A task was created on TaskRouter. Right now, no agent is online, but as soon as Amir logs in, this task is going to be assigned to him.
All right.
So this is.
You know it's live demo, right? When I have to try it second time. OK, guys, I'm going to give it one more try to something else.
Did you select the right department?
Yep. All right.
OK.
A little misconfiguration, but you know what I had to do to make it happen. Anyway, so I'll just add a little bit to it. We just have different agents assigned to different departments. I went slightly off the script, and here we are. Anyway, but the way it is that there's a request coming in from the web form. And as Matthias explained, all that information is here. I'm going to go ahead and accept that task to the agent. And what that's going to do is dial back to Matthias. All right, the familiar favorite sound. All right, so I won't make you go through the agony of echoes, but we are connected right now. So as you can tell, a request comes in through callback. Instead of customers dialing an 800 number, you're calling them when the agent's going to be available, right? So it makes it for a much smoother experience with your customers. So again, I think this is the first time you're looking at it. This is the agent interface. And you can almost imagine that this is something you can put it within your own customer service rep experience, right? I mean, certainly you'll do screen pops, you'll do all sorts of internal lookups to get that right context of the customer, but it will be of something of this sort, right? Where a request comes in and seamlessly the agent can give a call back to the customer, and this is using the WebRTC client.
Yeah, so the agent has now finished the task. He's now idle again. That means on TaskRouter, we can now assign new tasks for him. And what we now want to do, we want to create a live chat. So instead of asking for a callback, the customer is on our website and wants to have immediate chat with our agent. And now, wait, we need to log in again.
All right,
yeah,
this is the right
so we have the
user
chat
this time.
request from our customer now.
So I see a chat request coming from Simon. Was issued 20 seconds ago, but here we are. So now through TaskRouter, I received that task because I'm an agent that's assigned to do chat requests, right? There may be agents that are doing both. Some are doing voice, some are doing video. In this case, that's the case. Now here we are where I'm going to play a double role so that you guys can see. I can say, I need help with Twilio Sync. I'm just writing that question to the agent, and you can see immediately it shows up here. Sure. Help you, and they're asking a customer, like, what can I do for you, right? So the person here is going to say, please call me at, and I'm going to give the phone number. 576. And here's the phone number available. So what this customer is saying is that I have a little bit more of a complex question. So I want to pivot from chat to a voice call, actually. And that's quite likely, right? There are a lot of scenarios where you go through a chat session. You may even have a bot before a chat session starts with an agent. Then you get the actual agent. They do some conversation over, they have a conversation over chat. And then they're thinking about, I really need to speak to this person because there's enough of that conversation. So what we have done is, because this is all web-based, in this interface, we have made any pattern that has a phone number, just as an example, you can make it clickable and dial the person out. So the task is still open, the chat conversation is still open with the customer. And in this case, now when I click on this number, it's going to dial them, right? So same interface, but you're seamlessly doing a channel pivot between text and voice. And then within a moment, you start getting the call, right? So this seems trivial because it's very easy to build with Twilio. And I make that claim just by talking to the companies that I've talked about using Twilio instead of traditional vendors. That has been extremely hard. If you can find someone from ING that's here, ask them that question. How long did it take to just get a chat button on their website with a traditional vendor? So the idea is that these newer APIs allow you to do that. That's the whole idea of agility and iterative development, right? This kind of proves it, how easy it is to build it as well. And you can certainly talk to Matthias after the session about what it took for him to actually write lines of code to make this happen. It's actually quite trivial. So I'll go ahead and close this. All right? SMS.
Yeah. So this is the live chat from a website to a website. And what we added is the second channel is SMS. So what we can do as an agent, we can log in, and the customer actually writes us an SMS. And for the agent, we have a live chat, exactly the same interface as we had before. But instead of the customer being on a website, the customer is actually writing SMS to us. And so we have a very well integrated SMS experience for our customers. And for the agent, there's no change in how the work interface look like or how they handle the task, because for the agent, this is completely, let's say, not hidden in that case, but it feels exactly the same. And this is a really good example how we utilize the Twilio building blocks to build a completely different experience with this, in this case, SMS, and before with the web chat. So you can see now the agent is typing something on his web interface. We have a lovely
customer that loves Signal, so, and I think they're talking about this session, but you guys can determine that later. But anyway, as you can see, it's all happening in real time. This was SMS, right? But a seamless interface for an agent. So this is using the SDK for IP messaging on the agent side. And this is what's going to turn out to be, right? You will not have different interfaces for your agents. You want that one unified interface. So this is the beginnings of those unified interfaces, and the example kind of clearly demonstrates that. All right?
Yeah, so somebody mentioned Facebook. Yeah, so let's talk about Facebook. So we had it on the slide earlier. So we did it with SMS, but we thought it's a good idea to do it with Facebook as well. So exactly the same as we did it with SMS or web chat. So for the agent, we have the same user experience. So for the agent, it's a web chat, and we translate it with the Twilio building blocks to a chat on the Facebook Messenger. OK. I guess you need to log in with Matthias.
Yep, I'm logging in with Matthias.
So we created one agent that is handling just Facebook and just SMS. So it seems TaskRouter is working fine. And now you see we have the incoming request from the Facebook Messenger.
All right, so I get that message. I really love Twilio. So this person is just absolutely stalking me now on SMS, on Facebook. Thank you. Enjoy your... OK, something of that sort, right? And then the message comes back into Facebook, right? So the idea is that if I'm used to using Facebook and I need a presence on Facebook, it's a very straightforward way of actually developing this. So just at a quick level, the way it works is that you have a Facebook page that you create. Twilio has a Facebook messaging adapter that you just bring in the Facebook page, you connect to it within your Twilio console, and then after that, the rest of the architecture is identical. Just the way you have a URL mapped to a phone number in Twilio world, you have a Facebook page mapped into your Twilio account, right? And then it just does a webhook after that. So same architecturally and conceptually, the concepts are the same, and it makes it for seamless integration, right? Then the request comes in, goes to TaskRouter, gets it to the same agent that was communicating, and then through IP chat messaging, you get that unified agent interface, right? So the next iteration we are looking at is that, how about taking sync and adding to this mix so that now I can almost have a news feed of that customer, right? Take all that information that I'm gathering over inbound calls, SMS, Facebook Messenger, but show it to that customer. So they know who that customer is and how they're reaching out to you. OK? All right. All right, so the next thing is, somebody's there, sorry. I just have to say hello to you. You know, I will know your real Facebook ID, so you will have to give me a real name. All right. All right, so we'll move on to, we have a few minutes left, so we'll move on to the next bit of the demo. And what we want to do is I'll bring up my presentation. So we looked at quite a few things. We'll talk about something interesting, something new. So how many of you are familiar with intelligent voice assistants, something like Amazon Echo, Alexa, one, two, few of them? OK, I would like all the hands to go up after I give this a little introduction. So what is an intelligent assistant, right? So it's really simple. This is where the world is moving, right? It's becoming a voice-activated world. We have Siri. We have Amazon Alexa. So this is the Amazon's version of an intelligent voice assistant. And what it does is really simple, right? It takes users' input through voice, and it does speech to text, and then it does intent analysis. But what Amazon has done is they've also added the ability to program it. And that opens up all sorts of interesting use cases that can be. Now, of course, these technologies are in their infancy, but even today, you can do something really interesting. And it's completely different than calling an airline and trying to give your name to them and never understanding it, and you press 0. So I think that world is changing. So I would certainly show, I would like you to meet Alexa. We'll meet her in a second. But I give it a personality, so because you start feeling it when you start using these devices, they have a sort of a personality, or at least that's a perception of it, obviously. So the nice thing with Alexa is that you can certainly customize it to your needs, which we'll see it in a second, but you can even ask Alexa, Alexa, what's the weather in London today?
In London, United Kingdom, it's 17 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, you can look for cloudy skies moving in and out, with a low of 10 degrees.
All right, I have a question. Anyone's birthday today? Literally your birthday. All right, I had a birthday song for you. But we can play it after the session. All right, so let's see what we can do with Alexa in a more business world, right? So we built an application that essentially, instead of filling out a customer web form or dialing an 800 number, you can actually have a conversation with Alexa, connects you to the same, as you can tell, connects you.
I'm not sure what you meant by that question.
Anyway, and it connects you to your call center agent, right? So yeah, this is the fun bit of these demos. So let's do this. We're going to go back to the application. I'm going to bring up the agent interface, OK? All right, so I have Matthias waiting for a call, but we'll have a chat with Alexa. Alexa, open Twilio support.
Hello, Signal London attendees. Welcome to Twilio customer service. First, I will collect some information, and then set up a callback from a customer service agent. Let's get started. What is the account name?
Amir.
Amir, I was able to look up your phone number and account details in the system. Which department would you like to contact? Sales, marketing, or support?
Support.
Briefly describe the reason for your inquiry.
I need help with WebRTC.
Here is the summary of your request. Account name Amir. Support level, premium. Department to contact, support. Reason for callback, I need help with the WebRTC. Would you like to proceed? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. I will pass this information to the next available agent. You will receive a call shortly.
All right, so that's the API integration. So now it's the same flow that we've seen before, right? Alexa, my phone's going to ring in a moment. And there we have it, right? It's just third time today. So I'll just hang up, and then Alexa is ready. And the agents actually, this will.
I can't find the answer to the question I heard.
Anyhow, so hopefully you get an idea that, regardless of the channels that you have, you want that unified interface, right? You want the ability for customers to speak through multiple channels that are traditional and that are emerging. But you cannot be retraining your agents and giving them multiple interfaces, right? You can't expect your agents to log into your Facebook presence to serve customer service calls over there. They need one unified interface. And we see this is one way of accomplishing that. All right, so having said that, what we promised you guys earlier, you want to really get access to all this code, right? So we have met Alexa, and then I'm going to hand it off to Matthias. He's going to walk you through what's available today.
Yeah, so as said before, so everything we had in the demo today is available on GitHub. So we created a public repository for you, built on, let's say, a very common web stack with AngularJS and Node. So it would be really great if you want to try out the contact center on your own. And there are two options how to do that. The first very easy option is we have a one-click to a Roku button. So if you click that button, it asks you for some configuration values you get in your Twilio console, and you can start right away testing our contact center. But as always, you can choose the version to install it on your own web server and try it on your laptop or your web server you own. So, and as said before, it would be really great to get your feedback. So if you try it out or you have some questions, just write us an email or on GitHub and give us your feedback.
Cool. All right. So thanks, Matthias. Yeah, so this is where you can find it, right? Matthias showed you. You don't need to remember. If you just go to GitHub and search on Signal 2016 Contact Center, you'll find this link. And connect with him and ask questions, as you suggested. Yeah. All right, so just I want to quickly summarize, right? Basically, the key takeaways that we hope you get out of this session is that, what is a modern contact center? The way we see it, right? Multiple channels, context is maintained across those channels, and then most importantly, we would love for you to build us on it, right? Give it a try, see what you guys think of it. You have ING building it for 17 different countries across dozens of data centers. It may be worth your try. And we really want to thank you for coming today. I know there are 2 more sessions before drinks, so I really appreciate you guys coming. And if you guys have any questions, we would love to get your feedback as well. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.